do you think this could keep us going in the nomad community, especially amidst all the crazy laws that are happening?
I think it could. I think it's definitely helped me like have some balance and just have some other spaces to be in. And I know that they're shutting down more and more land, but I could see, if you needed to lean on this more, if like they really do end up shutting down more and are, more confining in the future, like lean on this more. I'm sure there's people doing it full time right now. Like I know there is, like as housing, and they just jump from one to another.
You can't park here.
Welcome back to the Knock podcast, everyone. We are here with Heaven. Heaven is on TikTok as Wild X Honey. Heaven is also on Instagram, right?
Yeah, I've got a different name there. It's Wild X Heaven. Make it confusing.
Wild X Heaven.
Yeah.
And we'll put all those links in the caption for everyone so that you can be found easily and people can follow you. But what we're here doing on the Knock podcast today is talking about our van life solution series. Now, we've already had some other people who have talked about pet sitting with some other apps, and we're really excited to get everyone's perspective, whether it's good or bad, or if they've done it out of the country or in the country or whatever. We don't want this to be an echo chamber, so we're happy to hear of everyone's experience. We also don't want people to think, oh, this is the way I'm going to do van life, and not what they're walking into. So anything you can give us, we're more than happy to hear. It doesn't have to be all toxically positive, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so that's what we're getting into today. That is the gist of today's episode. And welcome, Heaven. I'm so happy to have you here. What was your most recent pet sitting adventure?
My most recent one was I was just in Hawaii for like almost a month, and that was probably one of my coolest ones. I found it a little challenging, but overall it was like a really good experience just to get out there and be somewhere I've never been before because of this site.
So in that case, you had to pay for the airfare to get there.
Yes, you do have to pay for airfare.
Transportation.
Yeah.
Now you're a van lifer as well, so you had to store your van somewhere while you did this. Cool.
I had some family I could park it with, like luckily, so that wasn't an expense. But yeah.
Nice. And what animals were you there watching?
I was watching one dog.
Okay.
She was super cute. She was more of a puppy though, so she had higher energy. So that was the only challenge I would say I did have with that. But she was cute, and I had fun with her and just got out and about.
Right on. Were you able to take that dog with you on any hikes or adventures?
Yeah, I did. I took her to like the river and like the beach, so she was able to get out too. So that was good. Yeah.
And was this something that you got paid for, or was it just for the accommodations?
So it's like the site I'm on is more of an exchange. Like there's no like payment to like the house sitters, but it's more like you can look up a house sit anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, actually, there's house sits. And if you want to go there, you can exchange with somebody to stay there in, for pet care. So it's like a barter system, and you kind of like weigh out the pros and cons of it. You're like, okay, cool, I really want to go there, but what do I have to do? What are the little tasks? But if you're an animal person, I'd say like for the most part, it's like, I don't see it as like a lot of work for most of these house sits. So, you just got to walk a dog. Yeah, you just gotta walk a dog most of the time, and that's pretty chill. But
so walk us through, like, you have to be a member on one of these websites, and you have to be able to like have some kind of reviews on you, right? So that people actually want to hire you and think that you're worth it for this job. Walk us through what that process looks like, from like signing up on the website, finally landing a gig, talking with the host, and then like figuring all that out up to the point where you get to their house.
Okay, so like to join the site I'm on, I think it's like $160 for the whole year for both the people that have the house and the pet sitters. And then the first gig you get is going to be harder. I think my first one took me a couple weeks, but you're going to want to probably look for like more last minute ones or people that are new too. Like my first one was in San Diego, and I house sat for somebody that was new to the site as well. So it was like, all right, we'll take a chance on each other. And then you start building from there. So once you have one review, I'd say you start like, okay, more people will consider you. Cause I did get turned down a lot, but when I didn't have any, like, okay, you seem nice, but you don't have any, backing, which I get. So the first one will be harder, but you'll want to like find one that's maybe not as nice too. Like you'll see there's like a range of them too. Some are like super fancy, and some are like more in areas that maybe people don't go or not as, so you want to start with one that's like going to at least get you on the map, like to have a review and get considered even to do it. Yeah.
That's a good tip. And then when you start, like, do you contact directly with the people, or do you talk through the site? what does that look like?
You contact them directly. So if you look up where you want to go and see a house that you'll, write them an email and be like, hey, I'm interested. And, you can give them some like background and stuff too. And then they can reach out to you. And I think only 5 people at a time can actually apply for a house sit. So like the ones that are super, it's kind of interesting how they do that. I don't know if it's good or bad, but when I was looking up like Hawaii ones, you have to apply within like 2 minutes. Like you have to set like an alert on your phone, even if you want like a really they're more competitive certain places. Okay. It's kind of interesting. So it depends though. Yeah.
So how long have you been doing it and how did you land the one in Hawaii?
I've been doing it for a year now. So on and off with the van, I've been kind of like cruising around, and I'll usually do a lot of last minute ones where if I'm like close to a city and I've been, camping for a week or so, I'm like, I need a shower. I'm going to see what's going on over here. And there's usually a lot in the cities like Portland, all the Pacific Northwest, tons of them.
Okay.
So that's really good. And then like over the last year, I built up, I think I have like 25-star reviews. So I think that got me, the Hawaii one got me at least, talking to them and figure out if I was a good fit, and it worked out. So yeah, the more reviews you get, the more likely you're gonna, or good reviews. I mean, if you have a bunch of bad reviews, maybe not, but.
So you definitely have to work your way up. Anyone that's listening, to be realistic, you're gonna have to work your way up, take some in areas that aren't necessarily a luxury vacation destination, get some reviews going, and then you can apply for the fun ones.
Yeah, but I mean, like even before that, like going up the coast, my first summer doing it, like I think after 2 even, I got some really nice places. And so it just depends. Like you don't have to have 25-star reviews to get considered for the Hawaii ones. Like you can even look at like reviews from past people on there and be like, oh, that person did that Hawaii sit. And you can look, and I've seen people with just a couple even. So it just kind of depends, it can be random. It can take a while to build up, but yeah.
Okay, so what's the best experience you've had? I probably Hawaii, right? And then what's the worst?
Both Hawaii and I did Costa Rica right before Hawaii too are like tied because they were both really cool and just got me out there. And also some houses, like if you do travel, some will say you can use their car. So I actually got to use like a car at both. Yeah, these people were so nice. They let me even use their car to drive around. I know. So it depends. Like, so you can look for all the amenities and see what they give. So those ones are like tied because I just got to get out of the van and just really be immersed somewhere totally different. I don't know if I have a worst. I'd say I'd have some that like just certain situations or certain days taxed me more. Like if I was having a harder day and like there was a dog that was more demanding and I'm like, I only have so much. But like overall, like none of the experiences I would say were bad. I would say there maybe were a couple days in between where I was like, I signed up for this. This is like, but only because I like have more personal life stuff going on. And I feel like, oh my God, the dog is like in my face, just some of those moments. But like I'd still look back on all those houses and be like, yeah, I had a good time though. So nothing crazy, but there are, if you like go on Reddit, like there's a forum for this, site, people do have some crazy stories. Like people do have some situations they walk into where it's like, oh no, like, so it's like, if you're very good at like, feeling people out, like you video chat with everybody beforehand and kind of feel out their expectations and who they are as a person. Like, you can sense if people are like, I don't know, a little bit much or something, or just going to be harder than it seems. Like, and even then I haven't really talked to a lot of people where I had like major red flags, like where I was like, nope, I don't want it. Everybody seems, the site kind of attracts a lot of people that are pretty open-minded. I've noticed just, open to like having a total stranger. Cause I'm a total stranger and just, I'm in their house. So
you have to have trust on both sides.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next week we're having on someone that had one of those crazy Reddit stories.
Oh, okay. You'll get to hear that then.
We'll get to let everyone hear the crazy one next week.
Nice. All right. Yeah, I know. I wish I had I don't want to sound like overly positive with it, but I really haven't had anything like insane
That's
happen.
awesome.
So, I'm lucky for that really though.
That's good. I mean, I'd rather people know that there are so many positive experiences we had. Like, I mean, in van life, we have our ups and downs. Mm-hmm. If there's more ups, all the better.
Yeah,
we love ups.
Yep.
We know there's going to be downs. Sometimes, like I can imagine, like the travel. Now, when you travel to like the one in Hawaii and the one in Costa Rica, like you have to make sure everything's like lined up really well, and the logic is logicking. And have you ever run into something like where you had a delayed flight, you weren't going to get there on time, they had to leave on their flight? Like, was there any hiccups like that ever happened? And how did you deal with it?
For those two, I didn't have any, other than I had to run through the airport in Dallas to catch my connect. I was a little delayed, but I made it. So at least that happened. But yeah, I didn't have any hiccups there. Like both of them were really worked out smoothly. And then all the ones with the van, I usually will tell people like, I could even come just like to meet you while you leave. So I get to meet, like, it works out with some people, some they'll just leave a key, but overall, like, yeah, pretty smooth with that as well. I know that could be like, a mess potentially though, if you missed a flight trying to get somewhere when they, so I'm sure people have stories about that, but I so far been pretty lucky with, those are just my two that I've had to fly for, most of them I'm just in the van and I just drive to them. So it's usually fine. But
would they let you come early? Like if the only flight you could get was like a few days early before they left, like would that be something that, okay.
People are pretty flexible. The Costa Rica one, I came like a day early and I got there and it was perfect because he showed me around. He was a really nice, like retired German guy, and he's just showing me around town. And he got,
cool.
It's really good to like get the lay of the land and just all the little things too. Cause some of those, some of the houses have a lot of little random things, especially about the house. Like, oh, they got to show you weird stuff about their house too.
What platform are you using? Are you using Trusted House Sitters?
Yeah. Yep. Just Trusted House Sitters is where I'm finding all these on. So.
Okay. Awesome. I love this. I know that the last person we talked to did mostly WAG and Rover. Okay. And they were getting paid. And she, I don't know if you saw that episode, but she was making like quite a bit of money, like more than my monthly budget.
Okay, that's cool.
And she had accommodations, and she's with her wife so that the two of them could take on multiple gigs at the same time, like go walk another dog while they're staying in a house at this time. So they were really able to like make this a lucrative, successful thing for themselves, not just in the traveling world as nomads, but also for an income. And I thought that was really fascinating. Have you been paid for any of your house sits?
So no, this site, no. I mean, I've done paid house sitting before. I probably should get into those. Are they like, do they move around a lot? Because I know sometimes it can be more localized. I was
in like where it's like Southern California most of the time.
Okay.
They kind of got stuck there and they needed some van work, and then they had to get a new van and build out the van. And so they were like hunkered down in a place for like quite a few months. I think it was almost a year.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
And then she was there. They were able to really, but because of that, they had repeat customers.
Yeah.
And so I think after you make a repertoire with people, yep. But okay, so Trusted House Sitting is not paid, but like if it's something where you get to know someone and you revisit that would it be something that could be paid off platform if you were to talk about it with them?
Maybe. I would say probably not. Just the way that the site is like advertised and structured as like, it's kind of advertised as like a free Airbnb situation for travelers or nomads. So it's like probably not with these people because they already like aren't like, it's like they can get like anybody if they live in an area where people want to go and like a hotel is like $300 a night. They're like probably not, but yeah, it depends. I don't know. I should look into the paid ones a little more, but I'm like so all over the place that I've never stay anywhere long enough that I don't know. I could look into those. I just know you have to reset your location and be more like, oh, this is more localized, but maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I just think that.
How many countries have you done it in?
Have I what?
How many countries have you done it in?
Just here, and then Costa Rica's been my first international, but you can look up everywhere. There's some in Italy, Greece, so that's like the appeal too. And that's what I was kind of like, oh, I want to do some more international now that I'm kind of established more on that site where you can just jump around to Europe or Australia. They're literally everywhere. Like it depends on how many. Some areas don't have a ton. Like Costa Rica doesn't have a ton. Hawaii doesn't. Like you have to set alerts for those almost where everybody like wants to go and they all apply. And so, but yeah, you could. There's people that use the site full time and just jump around everywhere, like backpack it, not like being, they're just.
Now, as a content creator, are you like? Is there anything against using the backdrop of the interior of their house as like part of your content? Like, can you, I guess like capitalize off of this, right?
I guess
also make content about it while you're doing it.
Yeah, so that's like a gray area. There's nothing in the rules that say I can't. I've tried to be respectful of people's houses a little, but I do live streams and I do like stuff where I kind of make it to where I'm not live streaming a lot of their house. It's usually just like a wall. Like it's not like not even bring my own lights. I do kind of like where it's my own space, and if like somebody saw it, like it might not be as like, but I don't know, that's the gray area. There is a gray area there because I know Airbnb doesn't like content. Like, I don't know, they have something in there. It's like, you can't do commercial stuff. This site doesn't. I looked just to make sure because I was like, oh, am I going to get in trouble for this? Because I am doing stuff in their house, but I'm not like showcasing it. I'm not doing like a tour of their house. I'm not doing, I'm not doing anything where I'm not really, I made like one video, I think, or maybe two off of like doing this, but I haven't really showed like, I don't do like, oh, here's where I'm staying kind of things. I would definitely,
so nothing that's like a definitive, like, here I am, this is where this person's house is. Nothing
just little corners or I don't know, outside spaces more too.
What's the hardest, like, what do you find is the hardest part about doing this? Is it the logistics? Is it, do you bond with the dogs? Like, is that difficult? Is the travel part difficult? Like, what is the most challenging part of all of it?
Honestly, setting them up and leaving, I feel like, because you have to do a lot of searching or like, I don't know, I feel like it's a lot of mental energy to send people stuff and do like, if you're applying to a couple, because like I do at one time, you never know who's going to actually like, okay, I'll pick you or I want, so it's a lot of like, putting stuff out there and setting up voice, FaceTimes and just kind of lining them up is the trickier part. But overall, like when I'm doing the actual house sitting, it's pretty like whatever once I'm there. And then leaving, I always feel like there's a lot of last minute things to do. I don't know, like if you've house out, but like, you just got to leave it as clean as it is. And even if I don't leave a mess, I'm like, why is there so many random, it takes me hours to get out of it for some reason.
So have you ever waited for them to return or do you leave before they return?
I usually leave before they return. I don't think I've been there when they've, just one or two maybe, but for the most part, you can go if they're not that far, you kind of coordinate with them at little, like, oh, I'll be back then. And I could leave a few hours before if I want or whatever. So, but yeah. And half of them I don't even meet. Half of them I just have a key or a keypad and get in and I never even meet the people. It's kind of funny.
Isn't that crazy?
It is wild to think about.
Kyla and I do that kind of work too, where we don't even get to see people that we work with. And we'll sign contracts and negotiate for weeks in advance before we actually do the work. And then that's it. We don't even know what they look like. I mean, we could pass them on the street and not even know. It's a weird world to be in.
Yeah.
The internet and how age and get to work as content creators and all that. But it's nice to know that there's so many other options out there. Do you think that this is something that's sustainable in the long term as someone who wants to be a van lifer? Like, do you think this could keep us going in the nomad community, especially amidst all the crazy laws that are happening?
I think it could. I think it's definitely helped me like have some balance and just have some other spaces to be in. And I know that they're shutting down more and more land, but I could see, if you needed to lean on this more, if like they really do end up shutting down more and are, more confining in the future, like lean on this more. I'm sure there's people doing it full time right now. Like I know there is, like, as housing, and they just jump from one to another. But yeah, I think it's been good and I think it can be sustainable. I think it will, help me stay in my van and sustain this life a lot easier. I do all my chores pretty much at these house sits now. I'm just like, cool, it's laundry day. And it just has been helpful, like having little spaces to be sometimes. So I think people,
that appeals to me too. I think that's one of the biggest appeals is like, I have a kitchen in here, but I don't have like a big oven and like a microwave and like a coffee maker. And like, I think like that break in a house in a home with all the conveniences that a home has, electricity that you don't have to worry about,
Yeah. I charge up all my stuff when I'm, like it is like a reset, like where, I'm not trying to do that all in the public locations. Like I hate the laundromat. Like that's funny. That's like one of my biggest things that I'm like so happy I don't even use anymore. I just do a house at every couple of weeks and do it all there. So it kind of, it's helped a lot.
That's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that you've been able to do it like every few weeks. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there's tons everywhere and more people are getting on that site. Like more people are referring it to their friends because I'll ask, oh, like, how'd you find out? And, like, they're like, my friends told me. And so like, it's just like in San Diego, Portland, all those cities, you could do it full time. Like I'll look them up when I'm going through there and just find one I can pick up on a weekend. And there's tons of them. Tons of people do it. So
I've wanted to do it for a while. I'm all over the place and chaotic. And I know, there are sits out there that accept if you have your own pet.
Some do, but yeah, I know that makes it more limited. But I have
Yes.
seen some that will accept them, and like it just has to be the right situation with their dog. Like you'd have to
Right.
get one that really is friendly with them. So
Right. And it's hard to tell until they meet also.
yeah,
But, I mean,
yeah.
Sparrow's super friendly with everything. Oh my gosh, he's so friendly, but he's too friendly. But like Kyla doesn't have the friendliest.
No,
Okay.
Gunner's a senior
Big
dog
grumpy old
now.
man.
Yeah, he's a senior dog now, but he's adopted. He's never been good with other dogs. There's only like one other dog that he gets along with, but like any type of, because that's always been from day one when I started living in like a vehicle, not like just like an SUV, not even a van. Everyone's like, why don't you house sit? Why don't you pet sit? And I'm like, well, first of all, like I'm married, so it'd be me and my husband. And some people are kind of weird about couples, and they're like, whoa, I don't want people just like moving in. And then like Gunner is like an 80-pound bully breed, and he's terrible with other dogs. I would never put anyone else's pet in a dangerous situation, and I also don't want to put Gunner in a dangerous situation. So for me, there's just too many moving parts in my personal life for this to be like an easy situation. But I feel like for anybody that's like single or maybe doesn't have a pet, this seems like an awesome way to do like a reset, even if you only did it like a couple times a month. Like you said, I can get my shower, I can do my laundry, I can charge up my stuff. Instead of like paying for a hotel or paying for an Airbnb, you're at least getting basically to stay in a house for free of charge. You just have to maintain the house and take care of their pet. Like it seems like a great situation.
Yeah, it really does. I've been considering it, and I just haven't taken the dive because I've got so much going on, but I've definitely been considering. The more that I hear about it, I'm like, I want to do this. I want to go, but you know, I have a dog, so I know that would limit what opportunities I have. Do you like, has there ever been anything where you're like completely overwhelmed? Like, not that it was a bad situation, but it was like, whoa, I got myself a little bit over my head here. Like, have you ever been in a situation where it's too much, it's a little overwhelming, and you hadn't like, you know, you bit off more than you could chew?
I lost a cat once. He got out for a whole hour, and of course I freaked out. I thought I killed him. Oh no. And I literally sat back down in the house, and I had the door open, and he came right back. I'm like, you made me stress out so much, and you're just probably right here. I was like outside in the bushes at night. I was like, no. I texted the owner too, and the owner was so chill. The owner, he didn't even get back to me until the next day. He's like, oh, sorry that happened. Like, I'm like, well, it's okay. But so that was stressful for a minute, but luckily it was good. And the cat was like, he could occasionally, the cat could go indoor, outdoor. But if I would watch indoor, outdoor cats, usually they're just like, yeah, just keep them in, just because, you know, you're new and you don't know what they're going to do. But so he kind of probably wanted to just have his outside time and come back. He was good about it, at least. Didn't disappear.
It's like, what are you freaking out about, lady?
Yeah, he was so chilled. I was like, I called my friend. I'm like, I think I killed. I was like, worst case scenario immediately, which sucked.
No.
I killed it.
Of course. Well, someone else
He's
is,
chill. It's fine. And he just walks in.
You know how important pets are to people. Like,
yeah, no, it was like,
their own kids, for God's sake. Yeah. So
yeah, it was a big,
that would be. It's a lot of responsibility, and if it's you know, if you're not willing to step into that role of taking on that responsibility, then maybe think twice about doing pet sitting. There's different tiers on the pet sitting website where you can do. You get like insurance on one, and you get a little bit more opportunity. Like they'll push you, right? They'll promote you more, or whatever.
Possibly. I don't know if that's true. I only have the basic one, and I've had no problems getting house sits, and I haven't had to use their insurance. I mean, I don't know if I even have it, but if you go on Reddit, a lot of people say it doesn't even work if you have the. So I think that the
scam.
I know. I'm like, I wouldn't pay for the premium because I don't know if they actually do anything.
Okay.
So but maybe they do. Maybe they've helped. I'm not sure, but so that's something to be aware of.
That we had on was saying that with WAG that I guess it's similar, but I think a little bit more so with WAG because it's a paying situation where you literally had to boost your algorithm and like get yourself seen more and like be very, very active on the site for at least a month before you actually got any kind of gig. But this sounds like, because it's just an exchange, it's not so serious.
No, it isn't.
You really
And they
grab
don't
a
even
gig.
like show your I mean, they show your profile sometimes because I know some people invite me, like, and I don't even apply to a house that, and it'll be somewhere really random sometimes. So I'm like, I'm not driving. I don't know about, like, you know, it's like way over there. But so they'll sometimes push your profile, but for the most part, you're the one doing all the applying to it. So it's not like it matters. Like, I don't even really, I don't think it matters if you're premium or not.
What advice would you give to someone who wanted to get started in it?
Just start and find a house that's not too hard to get. Like, find one that's maybe in a bigger city where it's not like the nicest house sit, or on a busy weekend, or even the holiday. I didn't start on a holiday, but for Christmas, so many people are looking for house sitters. Like, if you had like open time during a holiday, there's so many. Like, last year I was on that site, and I actually didn't even house sit for Christmas, but I had like a couple people message me every day like, hey, could you do,
Nice.
And that is a harder time. But I mean, if you're just getting started and you had trouble getting one, maybe like a holiday would be better, because there's so many, even just 3-day weekend holidays. Like, there were a few, like this weekend I was looking at some, and there's a bunch, like, because people want to take 3 days. So, but yeah, don't start on the craziest one, and just,
So keep it short and sweet for the first ones.
Yeah, do a weekend. That's
ideal sit, but at least you'll get your foot in the door and see if it's something.
Yeah, even just after one review, people will take you more serious.
Exciting. I like hearing this. I do think it's something that, especially right now, we just had someone who was on the podcast a couple days ago, and they are now like this was like family for them. Loved ones. I think take out Kyla, because I think I'm only supposed to say loved ones. My bad.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, that episode's coming out after this one too.
Yeah, these are people that like begged her to get off. She lives in a sedan, in a vehicle, and in a car, and like, it's not as fancy as van life. It doesn't fit the aesthetic of van life. You can't get away with it as easy. Like, security guards are gonna kind of be on your back a little bit more. The cops are gonna, stereotype you. People don't really understand it. But she's done it for like 4 years now. She's fine with it. Like, it's a little frustrating right now because she's got a surgery that she's facing, and it's a little scary. But her family, her loved ones were like in a place, and all of a sudden the rent went up, and they're like, we can't afford it anymore. And these were people who were like, come live with us. And she was like, no. And now they have nowhere to be, and they're literally in a tent hiding out in a metropolitan area because they have jobs nearby. They don't have a vehicle, and they're terrified because the executive order is like, anyone who's homeless is going to be institutionalized and arrested and all this craziness. So it might be a really good option for them.
It would be. Like, and the cities have so many. So whatever city they're in, if they get on that site, they could probably fully house themselves. Like, I'm not, like, it depends on, like, any of the ones I've seen on the West Coast, you totally could. Like, there's just so many. So definitely would be a good option for them if they are on the street. Like,
and I mean, even if you couldn't find a spot for a week in between here and there, if you can keep your job in the city you're in, you're not paying rent while you're doing the house sit, the pet sit. You can save the money, and when you get out and you have that week in between, you can afford a hotel room for a week. So you do have some options, or eventually get yourself a vehicle to be in.
Yeah.
So it might be a good transition for them. I'm going to tell her about that. That's really awesome. I'm so glad you're here telling us about it.
It goes without saying, obviously, like you said, you're not paid to do these things. This is like a work for trade. So like, if someone's going to do this, you have to have some form of income. So like, it would be good for someone that either works from home or like has some other type of gig work they could be doing in that area, or self-employed at some level. So I guess walk us through how you actually make money to make this whole thing possible as well. Because I just like to connect the dots for people, because so many times when people are like, this is how I'm living on the road, and I'm like, you've left out the part on how you actually make money. Which I feel like is important.
It is important, because people can make money so many different ways on the road. Honestly, I do all my stuff is spicy, and I mostly do live streams. Actually, like, I have the one, like the main one that everybody knows, but I also like mostly just like hop on and work from Wi-Fi whenever I feel like it. Like, so I don't know how to say it. I do like spicy live streams.
Yeah. Like camming.
Yeah.
I think you can say camming. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
I know
could probably say that.
know so many van lifers that do camming and live streams and spicy stuff like that, and the amount of like travelers that do it, people would be really surprised. And I'm all for it. I support it. Like if nobody's gonna pay your bills, then they don't need to judge how you make money.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
And I just like to keep it real because if that's something that somebody was ever thinking about, it's definitely an option. It is a lot of work, but it can be very lucrative, and it gives you so much more freedom to be able to travel and make your own money so that you can do other cool stuff like this. So you be using up that Wi-Fi. You be using that bandwidth when you're
I'm on that Wi-Fi.
Your Starlink? Like, do you have Starlink and do you travel with
I do have Starlink. So I started out fully on Starlink. Like I've been in my van doing this for 3 years, like just live streaming and doing it on Starlink. And so yeah, I'll get out and like I'll usually do like 3 or 4 days a week where I'm just posted somewhere and I'll have my Starlink out and I'll just live stream whenever I feel like it. Mostly at night too. I'm kind of like a night person, so I'll just get on at night and have my days and do whatever. But yeah, I like the freedom it's given me and just the flexibility. Like, and if I don't feel like doing it one day, I'm like, whatever, do it some other day, you know, as long as I'm, you know, stable enough. And after 3 years, I've built up a lot more. So it's been like smoother sailing. I've got like a lot more freedom in it, where the first year I felt like I was a little more like, oh God, I got to make money. I got to, you know, because I was like, you know, it's chaos. You got like so much stuff for so long when you first start being fully like nomadic for sure. Like, but yeah, now it's pretty easy and just hang out at people's houses sometimes and do it. And
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. I love it. I love seeing women being able to support themselves.
Yeah.
When we're in a man's world, listen, I'm going to say
exactly.
We don't make as much money. There's a glass ceiling. And like everyone wants to deny that. But
there is.
Listen, I worked as a graphic designer. I had paid internships all through my college years. I was a straight A student. You know, I made all the lists. And when I graduated, my cohorts that were male, they were getting offers for like $60,000 to $90,000 careers. And the top amount that I was offered was 30 grand. And I was like, I'm really working for myself now. And I think that spicy work is something that any woman can do. You do have to learn how the marketing aspect works, but oh my God, there's nothing wrong with it. Go get your money. I have a friend right now who's doing it. I don't know. I can't remember what site she's used. She does the live camming. She just made the #1 American girl on the site. I'm so proud of her. She pulled in like $8 grand last month.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like, girl, that like she's trying to get a new trailer. I'm just so happy. Goosebumps for her because like, I know she works her butt off, but she's like, I don't have to work as much now.
They should have a traveler. They should have best cam girl like in the like traveler van life girl at the AVN Awards. Do you know what have you heard of the AVN Awards, Bunny?
No.
It's like the Adult Video Awards. It's basically like the Oscars for adult film stars, and they have a whole cam girl section. And I feel like there's so many travelers that do camming now. Like they need to just have like a traveler section or a van life section. That's like,
I wish we could help others teach others to get into it. Honestly, like I know a little bit of the marketing because, you know, I had a little bit of spiciness. And then I got into YouTube and it kind of took off. So I like kind of put that on the back burner. But my friends know how to do it and they're always teaching me how I could do it if I wanted to do it more. And like, they got me into it in the first place. And my God, if it's not a challenge for anyone to get into. It's one of the quickest ways to make money. But there's this shame that people have put on it. And I hate that. Why? Well,
I know it sucks. Like that's the hardest part of like I think doing it because I don't have a problem with it, and I've done like other forms of adult work too, even before like the internet, and I have no issue. But it's hard to like know who's gonna like hate on you for it.
Oh,
like
for
I've
sure.
had friends that I've come out to, and they're like hate me for it. It's like
Yeah.
dude, come on.
Yeah.
Like people that you think are open to like tip. Like
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
It's because
it's kind of
threatens them.
crazy,
Girl,
but-
it's only because it threatens them. Trust me.
I think it
Trust
makes
it's
people
only because
feel
it threatens them.
insecure. Some people are really insecure about like their sexuality and like that aspect of their life. is supposed to be like hush hush and like we don't talk about that. And
they've been taught that their whole lives.
It's been indoctrinated into people.
Yeah.
But I feel like that I'm glad to have you on because yes, the house sitting is a great aspect and a great van life solution. But I think maybe we've completely just not even thought of the fact that spicy work is a huge van life solution.
Male or female, even
it's
couples
huge.
can get into that.
Yeah.
My friend who just made all that money, she does it with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you know, whether he holds the camera or he's
in it.
That's the wow, you know, like everybody's putting their part in, and like he helps her with all the stuff because she can't possibly do it all because they have 2 dogs, they have a trailer, they have a truck. There's so much going on that like she's the one that does all the work, but he's happy to pull the weight everywhere else. And it works. So like whether you're a male, whether you're a female, don't think that you can't do this. If this is something, you know, you're into, like definitely like talk to ChatGPT about it, talk to YouTube about it. There's a lot of people out there that are teaching it. It's not taboo. And it's a great way for you to get your feet out of the quicksand that every American is sinking into right now. And there's no shame in it. Absolutely not. It's a great way to be empowered.
Well, it gives you financial freedom. Like, I'm not going to be shamed for something. Like, me and my family have a really bad relationship, and they just kind of like sat there and watched me drown and then like would judge me for like not being successful. And so we're no contact, but, you know, they would be horrified if they knew that I did spicy dancing and this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, you weren't really there to support me. And like, not that I expected my parents to pay my way, but in this economy and like in the generation I grew up in, we were kind of had the rug pulled out from under us because college and a degree didn't equate getting paid anymore. So I feel like they didn't really want to acknowledge that. So like the only way I was able to support myself, like I tried working at Starbucks, I tried working as a waitress, I tried working in retail, and I was like, I will never be able to get ahead. Like this is not happening. And also like I was miserable because I had no time to do any of the other things I wanted. When I started spicy dancing, that is how I was able to finance. I would dance all day. And then at nighttime, I would train at the aerial gym. I was purchasing all of my aerial equipment, getting all of my training for years and years and years. And then I was go-go dancing at nightclubs and raves at nighttime. So I was working 12-hour days for like 3 years straight. And that's all I did. So to say that it's not hard work or to say like, oh, it's easy money, like what makes it easy is that you're working for yourself and nobody can dictate what you do. What makes it easy is that it gives you financial freedom, but it's still incredibly hard work and it takes a very driven person to be able to do it. You have to be very driven. And I think it's important to have a long-term goal as well. Like I was able to fund me finally being able to do what I wanted for work. And, you know, like it's going to be able to fund people being able to travel. So I think that might be one aspect because of the stigma of it. Maybe that's why a lot of van life content creators don't always mention how they're actually making money.
A lot of content creators.
There are so many content creators doing it.
Spicy work is integrated into a lot of things. Like we have found by making content, we can do a bunch of other kinds of content. There's all different aspects of it. And the best part about it is it's up to you how many hours you want to work. It's up to you how far you want to go with it.
Yep.
But there really is no limit, and you can integrate them together. Like you can be filming one thing while you're doing a job at a trusted house sit, right?
Yep.
So there really is no limit. And I love that because when we're stuck in a cubicle, sorry, Kyla, when we're stuck in a cubicle, we are limited. And it's our time. It's our entire life we're giving away. And even if we hustle for 3 years, it's never going to get any better other than this certain salary cap. And we're not going to explore anywhere else. And they're going to keep dangling a carrot in front of us.
Well,
we're going to keep reaching for it.
You've lost your time. It's time you can't get back. And like, I understand like there's certain situations where if that's the career and the job you have, like in this economy, you might as well stay there if that's as good as it's going to get. Like Andrew's situation, like it makes no sense for Andrew and I to have him quit his job and travel full time. Like we would miss out on so much money that can get us stable and repair our credit and save money to be able to do our next 5-year goal, 10-year goal. But like, that's time that I never get to see him. That's time where he's not getting that back. He's not able to invest in any type of career or business plan that's like his. You know what I mean? Like, all of his time is given to this corporate system. But I think the way he's able to like psychologically accept doing it is like, we have a bigger goal. So do what you got to do, keep your head down, make your money, and then hopefully things will change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of you. I'm both of you guys, but Heaven, I think it's great that you're able to do what you do as camming and also what you do for Trusted House Sitting. Like, you're helping other people go live their dreams too.
Yeah. No, it's a good exchange too for that. Yeah. And I think that site benefits like the people that do work remotely the most. Like, it's the easiest for them to like get it and just be anywhere and able to do those things. So yeah, remote work is the way. Like, any job that's like a real job anymore, like, I genuinely don't know how people are doing. Like,
they're not.
I don't know how people are doing it.
They're very miserable.
They're getting them.
It's rough. Like,
they're
I don't
very
think
miserable.
Like anybody's getting paid very much, and you got to work 40 hours. It's like,
at least that's minimum.
That's minimum. Yeah, that's
it's
crazy.
always more than you think. I mean, he's in sales, so I guess the way that it works for him is like, you can kind of write your own paycheck. Like, some months he'll have a stellar month and it's like, okay, we can squirrel away this money. This month has been a little slow for him, so that does get a little bit stressful. But because we live in the van, we're never paycheck to paycheck. Like, even if he has a slow month, we're always like, well, at least we're not renting anymore, else we'd be struggling to figure out how to pay rent. Like, other people at the dealership, when they're having a bad month, you can just like see it on their face. Like, it's hard to not get like super frustrated, because it's that level of stress where like, how am I going to pay my rent this month? Like, I don't want to go back to that.
No,
so
I never want to go back to that either.
No. And people are like, well, if you guys are making this much money, why aren't you renting? Why?
Because why we can't make this much money if we're not renting.
Why would I want to make more money only to spend all of it on renting it? Like, I think a lot of people have the notion that like all of us live for free, or that we want to live for free. Nothing is free. We still have vehicle insurance, registration. We still have gas, which isn't getting any cheaper. Groceries, food is astronomical. If you even have health insurance and you pay for that, pets, like, just life is not free. I feel like I wake up every day and it's like $100 is gone from my account. Like, it's just magically gone. So like, I don't know why people don't understand that we continue to do this, because it's what gives us financial freedom and it gives us our time back. And I think maybe it's harder for some people to comprehend that our freedom and our freedom of time is worth more to us than having a traditional 4-wall apartment setting. Like, does it suck to not be able to a toilet sometimes and I have to in a bag? Yes, but I would rather do that than this month right now. I wouldn't even be having time to do this podcast, and I wouldn't even be talking to you right now, because me and my husband would probably be arguing in the apartment and throwing shit and freaking out because his paycheck isn't going to be big enough to pay rent this month and afford everything else. Like, I don't want to go back to that. So if you're listening to this and you're having that same stress right now, we were there. And we're not judging you. We're trying to show you a way to not have to be there anymore. But you're going to have to barter with yourself on what you can get comfortable with. So,
and you'd be surprised what you can get comfortable with. You'd be very surprised.
Yeah. The van isn't too bad once you're in it for a long time. Like, people just can't
also
see
back
it.
to
Like,
the spicy work. Like, don't think that if you don't have a certain body type, you can't do it either. Because, like, girl, like, I got all of that. And like, cellulite, wrinkles, extra skin, flabby, flabba-labba-lab. And that,
they love it. They want it.
They love it.
There's a market for anybody.
There is a market for anybody. Even if you're 90 years old, if you are bald, even if you have like a weird toe, Like,
Oh,
that's
that'll
an
pay out.
FETISH
Yeah, the weird toe will pay
thing.
out.
Like, I have this like weird toe that grew in. They seem to like
Okay,
that toe.
I can't say who this is. I can't say who this is, but I know someone that was running his girlfriend's page for them. And so he'll be the one messaging people and talking to them for her. And like they're wild, but they're like in it together. They be doing like this mofo would be on his lunch break and be like, I'm about to go pay for my lunch, and he'd like go take a photo or like be messaging someone and get it. I'm like, y'all, everyone's doing it. They're just not talking about it.
You are protected when you work with the sites. I highly suggest not working out. Like, don't work outside of a site where you're doing this kind of, whether it's camming, whether it's you're just making videos, whether it's you're just selling feet pics, whatever it is, work within the bounds of the sites, because that will keep you much safer in the realm of spicy work, right, Heaven?
Yeah, I would say just try and focus on that. I mean, you can make money and there are ways to do it offline, but it usually becomes more of a headache to you, like, to be honest. Like, every client I've taken off of a site, like, sometimes it'll pay out like cash up, like you can't do chargebacks. But it usually is more work. And then they usually see you as like, I don't know, then they kind of get too comfy with you if you take them off the site. They're like, oh, I'm like, no, this is what it is.
Yeah, they want a piece of you.
This is what it is. Yeah, and then it becomes... so just the sites are where it's at, even though they do take a cut depending on where, and it depends on which one you're on, or it's however many. A lot of people stack them, but no, it is worth it. And I only work like 10 to 15 hours a week, and I make like good money for just just not doing a ton. Like, and I wish I could work more. I don't know. I'm somebody that's struggles to work more hours. I don't know. My life is so chaotic, but like, even if you can get to a good consistent, like, consistency on one site and build up people that like come to see you and stuff every week, like, you don't even have to do that many hours to like make what you want. Like, I don't know, everybody's got their goals, but so
it's all, I mean, and there is like a growth period. It does take a lot of marketing.
It does take time to grow.
Not work, because it's still a lot of work.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, it isn't necessarily easy money, especially in the beginning. It's not easy money. Like, I'd say it does take like time on some of them, and it takes time to understand.
Money in the first month, though.
You can. No, you totally can.
Money in the first
absolutely.
Month.
But
if you really want this for the long run, you're going to have to keep consistently investing in yourself and your content. Yeah.
Absolutely. And, there's a lot there too with all of it. Like, even just like the learning phase, like, I didn't know anybody that even did it when I got into it. So it was like, trying to figure out everything and just Googling. I mean, Google's great, got lots of stuff, but I didn't have any personal people that
there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of lingo,
especially,
there's a lot of, you do.
Marketing is the hardest part, because every time you market yourself in a certain light, or you say the wrong word,
you have to be careful, but
your accounts get shut down like that, or your posts get removed. So
the main thing for me is that, like, I didn't really promote a lot, like, on regular socials. You have to be comfortable enough to promote on like Instagram and like regular socials, but you have to do it really discreetly, or else you'll get your account taken down. But like, you have to funnel people from regular social media platforms to those platforms. Those platforms don't really have an algorithm where people are like scrolling through. It's more like they found you somewhere else and then clicked on that link to see you normally. But there's definitely a difference between like camming and then making like content on, the popular content sites that are more like fan pages. And then you can do DMs and like private messages, and then you can have content that everybody gets for a monthly fee, and then you can sell content privately. There's a lot to it. But there's like a lot of subreddits and a lot of online stuff for free that you can learn. And like, just like, like Heaven said, there is a learning curve, so it's not like you're gonna make $500,000 in 1 month. Like, I know a lot of these like content houses, the girls are like, I made $50,000 this month, and I'm like, it's not gonna be. I think people like kind of romanticize it.
Any get rich quick scheme is bullshit.
I think I don't like that marketing about like these sites, because it like really does set like a different like expectation like to them. If you like, I think even like camming is easier to get into and like do like the fan page sites, yeah, you have to market yourself. And I'm honestly not as great at marketing myself on some of that. But like the campsite I'm on gives me a ton of traffic. Like I can just log on. And I mean, I built regulars too, where I have a lot of people that do spend good money, like still over like years. Like I have some from maybe 3 years ago. Like that's kind of part of the game on that.
Yeah, I remember there's a lot of times there's a tip menu. I would say if you're interested in getting on there, make an account and scroll through and see how like the chat bots work. And like you do have to be a little bit tech savvy, especially for the camming. Because that's more like live
But you
streaming.
Can learn. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's learnable for sure. Yeah, there's so many tutorials. There's so much stuff. Like go on Reddit. God, there's like he'll tell you everything on how to do it. Like that was my holy like. Okay, cool. They'll give you everything you need to know on like this Reddit.
I think that's like the red pill blue pill thing where there's people that are like, no, I'll just stay in the 9 to 5 because it's easier just clocking in and clocking out. Like there's just certain people, and that's not a bad thing. Someone has to do those jobs, but you have to be very self-sufficient. You have to be a go-getter. You have to be someone that is okay with self-teaching and figuring it out. So I think that's why like content creators are such strange birds. Like you basically are running your own business. People don't see it that way. They're like, well, I have a phone. I could do that. And I'm like, well, go do it. And then I have friends who've talked about making a TikTok account and starting content for 5 years, and they still haven't done it. And I'm like, okay, well, no one is going to pick up the phone or turn on the camera for you. Like you have to be a go-getter. So I think that's why only certain people really succeed in it.
Yeah.
You have to be okay with learning too. Like, and also with criticism, you're going to get, if you don't have thick skin when you start content, no matter what it is, whether it's spicy, YouTube, TikTok, doesn't matter. You will fit within a year or two of doing it.
Oh my God. No, people are so mean online. It's crazy.
Dude, the people,
I just laugh at them now. I'm like, you guys are insane.
No, the people on TikTok and Instagram where it's like regular content are meaner than like than when I do.
They are though. The spicy people are usually so nice to me. Like you have an off night on cam where they're like, I get somebody's talking shit and I'm like, shut up. But like for the most part, everybody's like super nice on those platforms.
Well, I think the difference is that, especially with men, and I'm going to say it, men have expectations of women. And when we're not meeting those expectations, they want to put us down. They want to, knock us down and be devil's advocate and like just tell us we're horrible and we're not meeting their expectations because we're exceeding their own for themselves. And they can't stand that. Oh.
No, they hate to see us doing our own thing.
When we're doing something that they're expecting from us. And I know some people would say, well, you're part of the problem. No, because there's a level of control where we get to decide what we're going to do and what we're going to get paid for, how much we're going to get paid.
But a lot of the men on these sites are more simpy. That's the thing. Like,
they really are kind.
You get like the D-bag guys that are like, you're a hoe if you do this and I'm not paying for that. I don't need to pay for that. There's free content out there. And then like a lot of the guys that are willing to pay and like engage in that content are more simpy. And like, I don't mean that in an offensive way. Like that's their thing. So like they're simpy and they respect your time and like they want to pay for a specific girl's fan page because they want to support that specific girl. And it's a little bit more like people that are into Twitch streamers, which I know some of them can be cringe, but like people that are more into like Twitch streamers or like even somebody that pays for a Patreon where it's like educational content. Like I'm not doing spicy content anymore, but like my Patreon people pay for it. And it's like, but it's more like community driven and like we do live streams on there and it's more like educational or whatever. But like it's comes down to people that are appreciative of your time and like some type of connection with you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part why a lot of people, men and women, are like, I just don't understand who would pay for that. And I'm like, well, it's the type of person that's a good tipper at a restaurant. It's the type of person that, will go to a spicy club and maybe they just want to talk, but they'll still give you like $50 or $100 every couple songs or whatever. You know what like? Yeah. I know it's hard for people to comprehend that people are like that, but if you're not in that realm, maybe it's harder to understand.
Yeah,
like,
there's a whole subset of this society that really does want others to do well. And unfortunately, they're not the ones that are in your face and loud and obnoxious and making making waves. They do it quietly because they aren't the ones who want to be seen. They want to see others. And that's why we don't hear about them and why people don't understand them, because they're usually the ones who are a little bit, they're hiding.
The person
That's
with
cool.
the most money has the shittiest car. The person that is like the most generous is, like you said, the most quiet person. They're not doing it for show. They don't want to be in the spotlight. And I've even had people like that with regular content where they're like, I want to buy you this thing that you need for the van. And like, I try to not really do that a lot. Like, I don't have a lot of like one-on-one personal stuff going on with people like that, because I don't want it to turn into a parasocial relationship that gets transactional. Like I moved away from that just for my own personal reasons, which I fully support SWs and workers still. I can, if terms get a little weird, I can bleep them out. But like, I still fully support that line of work. But like, I just got away from that in like that type of transactional situation for me. But like, I still have supporters in my regular content where they're like, look, I want to do this for you. Like, I just want to get you this thing. Like, you make all this content. I love it. Like, I'm just going to do this. And like, don't tell anyone that it was me. You know what I mean? It's very strange. But then because there are these good people out there online, then you have the TikTok beg talkers that take advantage of them. And then that is the whole subsect on TikTok where it's, yes, they live stream all the time. And see, this is where it gets confusing, because like, well, how do you support some girl that live streams this and does that, and you support the girls that do sex work, but then you don't support the people on live stream begging? And I'm like, here's the thing. On those accounts, when you sign up, you know exactly. So on the Cam Girls website or on their page, there's a tip menu, and it says this for this or that for that, or there's a negotiation. It is 100% acknowledged that this is transactional. These beg talkers on TikTok, oh, my dog is sick. Baby, that's a stuffed animal. That ain't even a real dog.
Yeah.
Like they're scammers. There's a difference between transactional internet content and you're scamming.
Yeah. And it ruins it for when people actually do need help. Like Callista and her surgery and her loved ones in a tent. She did just get that GoFundMe up, by the way. I'm waiting for her to send me the links.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we can put it in the caption and stuff.
That episode, stay tuned. That episode will be out next week if you're listening to this right now.
But there's a difference between people who actually need that help, who are facing the most horrible emergency things, who are really in these hard situations that are completely out of their control. And then people like Rich and Sailor.
We'll bleep that out.
No, we won't. Rich and Sailor.
Don't drag Heaven into
Rich and Taylor.
Don't drag Heaven into their mess.
Okay. But there are people who are grifting online who are abusing that and making up stories. And so the people who do feel good giving and supporting the other people who need it, once they get burned by these scammers, there's this bitterness that grows inside them. And all of a sudden they don't want to help people anymore. And that's not just detrimental to the scammer losing their money. It's detrimental to the people who need the help, but it's also on a societal level, man. Like, you got bitter, mean people running around, and if you're breeding that bitterness because you're lying to them and you're blocking them when they're not giving you any money, you're creating a bigger problem that is just a domino effect, and they're not going to help the next person, and no one's going to help them. And there has to be some kind of reciprocity. And at least with the spicy work, with the content creation that we do, like, people they're understanding that this is a reciprocal transactional thing. I've had people give me up to $500 on a super on YouTube because they saw the work that I put in, the effort that I did to explain the laws. And they were just like, thank you. Nothing else, but thank you. And I'm like, holy okay, I'm going to put this right back into the channel. Thank you so much. But it's not a grift where like, oh, please help me. No. When I get that kind of money, the confidence boost and the knowing that I'm going to invest it back into my channel is giving it back to my community. And there's a big difference there. And just like you, like if somebody leaves you a big tip, you're going to, you know, there's a new outfit you can get. If somebody sends you something to go get like, how do I say that? A tool.
You could say it like that, I guess.
A tool. But yeah, like so I've had that happen when I was doing it. Somebody said, if you get this, I will pay for it. Awesome. It was something I would never buy, but I got to use it in other ways and back to the community. So,
dude, I had a follower, customer, whatever you want to call it. I lived in Florida at the time and I was really into fishing. We lived on the water. This dude bought us 2 nice pin fishing reels. Pin is a nice brand. They bought me Bubba Blade fillet knives, like fishing poles. Like I got so much nice fishing gear. I was like, hell yeah. But also like they were into that. So they're like, yeah, like I'm getting all this footage of you fishing in a bikini. Like, hell yeah. And I was like, well, I love fishing, so it works for me.
Yeah,
right on. Yeah, hell yeah.
I would have someone be sending me fishing gear.
That's
I'm
so
always,
cool.
well, I'm just like super outdoorsy. Like people are like confused by me, but like I want to forage, I want to go camping, I want to go fishing. So that's what I care about. I don't want a handbag. I don't want. That's not what I'm interested in. Yeah. Sorry. That's not gonna win me over. You're gonna have to try harder. I don't care about the Mercedes or the handbag. My whole closet
is thrift store clothes, and I probably only go like once every 4 months to buy clothing.
Yeah. Well, I did just buy some outfits for the Sierra Farrell concert.
Girl, go for it. That's different. That's different. Fine. If I was going to a festival, I'd probably drop $100 on a new outfit too.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I got like a whole fit for like, well, I'm still frugal. That's the thing. Like I don't go crazy, but like I got the whole fit for like around 50. It was really cute too. It's on my Patreon.
I think it's good that you stay frugal. I think like the more, you know, listen, there was this girl in college. I can't remember her name. I probably won't want to say it anyway. But she came from, we'll say humble beginnings. It's like trailer trash, basically. And her family won the lottery.
Oh, no.
And so all of a sudden they were like, and I mean like mega rich. No. They won big time. So she was in one of the dorms. Her education was paid for, but she was a lot.
Yeah, she was on a ski. She was into skiing.
Like, yeah.
Always on a ski trip.
It was... I'm sure it was fun.
I don't know. That's kind of a ride that, like, once you want to get off, you can't get off, you know?
No, but that's the thing. Like, when you enter the world of money and you're not sure how to work that money to make that money work for you, it can be very dangerous and you're going to blow through it. And they did. Yeah. I think it was like a decade and they were back.
That's the saddest part is so many of those lottery winners end up dead broke again. Like they don't invest anything. They don't comprehend.
Well, they don't have any financial education. Exactly. They've never had any money to work with financially educated. So how are they going to use it? I think that when you win the lottery or something like that, you should get free courses. You should have an accountant. You know,
you need a financial
or some kind of financial advisor. Yeah.
That's
anyway. I think being broke as long as I have, and I think you've been in both situations, Kyla, where you were making good money and then you weren't, and now you're back to a more financially stable situation.
We're way different now. When we had money,
but you
in the
have
past,
that frugality that keeps.
Well, I didn't. Me and Andrew didn't always. We were around.
Oh no, never. Me neither.
Like years ago, we had like a nice apartment. Andrew bought me a car. Andrew had a nice car. We were going out to eat and like partying all the time, shopping, hair, makeup, getting my hair done. Like we were like, yeah, let's go on vacation this weekend. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like money was no option. Like we thought it would never end. What could go wrong? And things change. We both got our together really, really hardcore. And I think that's one of the best things to come out of like COVID for us and van life for us and like becoming homeless. And the reason that we were struggling before COVID, like it wasn't like when we were bad with money. Yes, we could have had a savings if we would have been good, but our jobs changed significantly. So like we were used to spending a certain way. And then all of a sudden we were like, wait, we're not making that money anymore. And like we cut back, like we, you know, luckily we didn't have a bunch of credit cards. We were never really credit card people. Like if we didn't have it, we didn't spend it. So thank God for that. So like we were just like, well, we don't have money anymore. So we just, I don't know, we transitioned pretty seamlessly because I think Andrew and I are the type of people where we live a little bit more in reality. And like when that went down, we were like, well, all of that's over. And we got our shit together. I mean, do we still like, you know, go to concerts or have fun or go on a camping trip or get like a yurt or like an A-frame? Like, yeah, like my whole thing is, yes, like be financially responsible, whatever that means to you in your life. But I'm also a hedonist, so I'm not going to sit here and save every penny and not enjoy it. I could die tomorrow. Andrew could drop dead tomorrow. Like, I'm not going to save all this money for this magical time that might never happen. Like, yes, I'm responsible and I have financial goals, but I'm going to enjoy myself.
Yeah. Heaven, what got you into van life? Like, were you honestly beforehand, or which were you doing first, or like did they integrate together?
I wanted to do van life for a long time, and like even before COVID, and I don't know, I just like slowly was saving up and eventually just took the leap. I wasn't able to rent for a long time. I had unstable work for a long time too. Like I did spicy dancing for a few years, and I was doing well there, and I kind of jumped off of that because I was kind of getting bad for me for reasons. But then I went through a period of a couple of years that was just like really rough. Like I was super broke. I could not keep a job. Like it was like kind of before I discovered the online world of this stuff that I do now, which I had no idea was such a deep world either. I was like, oh, could just do it online now. But yeah, I got my van and just, you know, I found something for fairly cheap and slowly was like building it out over the last few years. The first year was like, God, I had like nothing in here. It was like chaos. Like, I don't know. Like I barely started to make content too. I think my first year was so chaotic that I'm like, I don't even know how I can how I can juggle that. And it's like, you see all the van lifers online, like all the big ones. It's like, they have such seamless, like, or they just, you know, that's a show. They're just like, it's so, I don't know. It's like a different picture from what I pictured. But
Most of them are not really doing it.
I know. I'm like, that's why. I'm like, there's no way these people are this. Like, I don't know. And I don't want to point fingers or anything, but I'm like, God,
they set everything up. They've got their big wide brim hat, their linen dress. There's a model. She's got her hair done. She's wearing heels. They light a fire. They get their drone shot, and 2 hours later, the fire isn't even out yet, and they're gone. They're gone, and it's like you're ruining it. Like
I know,
those
that's
are
how
the people that fuck
and
it
that's
up.
why, like, every time I tell somebody I live in a van, they think I'm like rich or have $100,000 van.
Oh,
I'm like,
my
no, dude,
God.
like this cost me nothing.
Oh,
like I have been bombing it until this point where I feel a little more stable, but it's still not like a super aesthetic experience. You know? So it's like, oh no, I don't like how it's like, that's the only view of van life a lot of people really, or like the super homeless, which people don't even really like, you know, like, well, I mean, I'm homeless, but like, you know, like city, like where people are really, you know, really out. Like, I don't know. It's kind of interesting the different views you get of doing it full time, like from people.
You definitely get different views. I'm glad that more people are like talking about the reality of it, but there's definitely still that big percentage, especially on YouTube. Like we started talking about the executive order and like talking about the laws, and people started shaming us for it.
God, yeah, that's
like
crazy.
They were like, that's stupid. We're not under fire. They're not going to come for van lifers. And I'm like, you idiot. Like, of course they are.
They don't want us doing it. No, I've seen so much land shut down already in the last few years. I've been doing it so much. Like they don't want us doing it.
I know. And there's so many people who want to do it now because of the aesthetic.
Yeah, they don't even know what they're getting into.
They have no idea what they're getting into. And then there's other people who are terrified, but they're being forced to live in their vehicles.
Yeah.
And they're mortified about what they're facing. And so like to have somebody there to talk the reality of it, they're like, oh wow, this is not what I expected it to be. Thank you. You know, so we get, you know, both sides of the same coin. We get the good and the bad, but I think a majority of the influencers that are still doing YouTube in that aesthetic sense, they're not really giving the real deal. So we're here to shut up.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate you guys. Like I've been like more, I don't do a ton of content. Like I'm starting to like try and do more, but I always get in that like I don't want just to do aesthetic like bullshit. I mean, it's pretty to take pictures sometimes, but like it's like
it can
people,
totally be romantic. We have
yeah,
the ability to do that. Like Kyla, she's in the city all week, but on the weekends she can go camping
yeah, that's awesome.
and
Yeah.
go for a hotel room and go to these concerts and like do the awesome adventures because she lives in a van. Like people in an apartment might not be able to do that.
My van life is like really weird, and it's hard to explain it to other van lifers, and then it's hard to explain it to regular people too, because the van lifers are like, well, you're not really doing van life, and then the people in apartments are like, why are you doing this? Are you okay? When will you get an apartment? And I'm like, so
we're good.
Basically I do everything that like city people do. I'm just not spending all of this extra money on rent so that I'm able to like enjoy myself. But I live in an area that, yes, it's a city, but it's also surrounded by mountains. So I can literally be like up in the woods or in a national forest within like 30 minutes. I'm allowed to plug in at my husband's work during the day, and like I have a 30 amp hookup. I can run my AC. I can run all this stuff. I have Wi-Fi, so like I can edit stuff. Like we have a gym membership. Like it's, I don't know. I'm just used to it. It's strange. It's strange.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was crazy. When I first started living in a vehicle, it was like, first I was on every adventure I could take. I was like, go, 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 all the adventures. And now that it's been like 12 years, I'm just like, okay, now I want to slow down a little bit. And like, I would really like to stay in a place for a month at a time and then move. But like, that's not always feasible. Obviously, it's usually like 3 to 4 days, move to the next spot, go to the city, re-up on your stuff, then come back out to the thing. So it's always looked different for me. It definitely depends on the vehicle you're in. It only recently started looking like this good, but I mean, you guys have to remember, I was on meth for 3 years too during van life. It was years ago, but like that was all part of it too. And I would have never gotten into it if I wasn't living in a vehicle at the time. So, but I also never would have gotten off of it because I was able to find by traveling and living different experiences that there were alternatives to this addiction. So, I mean, like every way that people live in a house or an apartment, there's just as many of those kinds of people living in vans and vehicles. And I think people, they forget that we all need to fit in one box, and it's never like that. Yeah. Well, with that, we can wrap up this episode because your girl has to pee.
Yeah, I already went.
Heaven, I'm so glad that you were able to open up about the spicy stuff, because like that stuff is not something we've talked about. And I love that you kind of went into that, because that's...
I mean, we've had other people on that do it, but they were like, yeah, don't really bring that up. And I'm like, I have to respect it. I have to respect it. I get it. But it's really... I think it's helpful for people because...
I think that is too. Like, and I don't want to hide it at like this point in my life anymore. I kind of like keep it on the down low a little with a lot of people, but like if people want to know about it, I'm happy to share. And I mean, it is what I do like full time. I don't want to be like one of those people where like, I don't even know how they even live like that, you know, like where it's a mystery, like what they even, I don't like that where they never tell you. It's like, okay,
it's a mystery.
Well, then you got like random money. So like, what is your deal?
I don't
know. Listen, like most of that stuff I learned from my friends. Like I'm impressed that you did it all by yourself, because like none of that I would have been able to ever accomplish, especially in the spicy world. But in content creation or any online work, even remote work, I had to do it with the help of other people. There was no, and I still to this day, Kyla and I are constantly like, okay, what about this? What do we need to do for this? How do I handle that? Oh my God, what's this shit? Oh my God, this emergency. And like to have someone else to connect with, I would never want to hide it, because it's nice to reach out to people. Yeah. And when people come to me and they're like, I really want to do this. And I'm like, all right, this is what it's going to take.
Literally like last week I had made a video on like one of my backup accounts on TikTok, because people were like, you're calling out scammers and grifters, make your own content. So like I literally took people to church on how I make content and what's actually involved in it.
Right.
And the difference between like a legitimate content creator and someone that just sits on TikTok and begs for money on false pretense.
Yeah.
So then one of my followers shared it to another lady that makes content, and she grew really quickly, and she was like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, you could be making so much money. Nobody told you what to do. So like I got on a phone call with her and gave her a consultation, and like, I don't know, I kind of enjoy like the coaching aspect a little bit. I don't do it all the time because I feel like as soon as you tell people how much work it is, they're like, oh, never mind. So I'm right off the bat, I'm like, this is what it's going to take. If you're interested, I can show you how, but like this is what it's going to be like. And not shockingly, a lot of the time people don't follow through with it. So I'm not going to charge you for coaching if like you're not going to like do anything with it, you know what I mean? But I do enjoy that aspect because like I want other people to be free. I want other people to make their own money. Like I fully support them in doing that, you know?
There's nothing better to me than a come up. I love a come up. A good come up gets me going. It inspires me. It motivates me. It makes me feel like I have a purpose in the world, especially if I'm part of it. So there have been a few people that have like reached out and like I got to watch them grow. And Kyla's done that for me. And I know I've done that for Kyla.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like there's so many other people that we've gotten to interact with. So, like, I don't know why anyone would ever hide what they, I mean, I get why they would hide it, but like there's so much to learn when you start opening up. Like your community grows when you're honest about what's going on. Your community just grows. Yep.
Yeah. I think I've lacked community overall. So it's like been harder for me to like want to share because I've had like people from my past like hate on me for certain things. So I think even with me being in a van, I know, and I hate that. And it's like I want to be like more open and make more van life connections. But I think I've been like a little bit like, oh, you know, because I don't have community a lot of the time. I think that's why I'm really independent. So that's why I can learn everything on my own. I'm like, cool, I got to go do this because I don't have anybody else going to tell me how to do anything, you know? So
well, listen, there's meetups and there's Facebook groups all the time, but I don't suggest them as far as community goes. I really don't. The meetups tend to be like the fake people.
I know, and I don't want that too because I haven't done any of like the big van life meetups either. But like I've been like hesitant to want to do that because I wasn't sure of like the crowd. I don't know. It's like I should just go out there, just get out there,
try it out, and see if it's something you like. Like maybe I'm sure there's a meetup that would be more comfortable for everyone. Each different meetup is different, but
yeah, definitely.
From what I've experienced and what I know from other people who have gone to different ones that I haven't been to, I'm just okay.
It's not my vibe.
It's hard to like find people that right off the bat they're gonna mask. Everybody's gonna put on this like they're not really gonna like, and I feel like if you're able to make people connections, like give them time to show you their true colors. Most of the time you're going to appreciate the colors that they show. But there are definitely times, especially with people that I've up with right away and been like, oh yeah, this person's great. And then I've been like, oh my God.
Sometimes you don't know until you know. I've only had like one or two situations where I was like, this was a mistake. But I've met so many cool people. Most of the van life people I've met have been on the internet. Like I've never met Bunny in real life and we literally talk every day and do a podcast.
Oh, that's so cool.
So like most of the van lifers that I know are internet relationships. So I still get that support and like I can like go and talk to them and be like, everyone's driving me crazy. So, but you have us now.
Yeah, no, really great to talk with you guys. I probably wouldn't have shared so much if I didn't feel comfortable with you guys. So I'm so
grateful that you felt comfortable. Like, thank you.
Yeah, you guys are super chill.
Like, this is an important topic. More people need to talk about. Like, there's no shame in this. Make your money. Do what you got to do. You'll be treated better by men. Like,
shockingly, I'm not even lying. I'm not even lying. I wish I was. The best jobs I've ever had have been in the adult industry as far as treatment from employers.
I agree, yeah.
And like from clientele. And I know that sounds crazy, but
honestly, even dancing was easier than like being a server for like a restaurant. Because I've had a lot of random jobs too, and it's like it's crazy how much harder those kind of jobs are.
No, like when I was a server in retail, I've never been treated so horrifically. Yeah. And then as soon as I was a dancer, my manager was amazing. The other girls were amazing. Like I was lucky. I was just in a good club.
Yeah.
And the clientele was high end, and like people had money and people were chill and everything was very good. But like those are some of the best jobs I've ever had. No joke. Like
I know it's crazy. Like people have so many ideas about those like industries, and it's like, yeah, but they're the best to work in too for women. And, like, and especially if you're on your own boss, like I don't listen to anybody. If I don't feel, I'm like, goodbye.
Yeah.
Like, customers, I'm like, goodbye.
Get out of here.
I don't give,
Dude, get security. If they're crazy, you just get security. Like what other job? Like clients or like customers treat you like, and then your manager is like, no, you have to let them treat you like not
I
there,
hate
baby.
that.
Not there, baby.
That.
They get kicked out. Call security.
I tried serving after I was a dancer, and I was so used to telling people off when they were like trying me. And as a server, I did horrible. I was like, fire. I was like, I'm not taking it though. Like when it's some stupid stuff, people are crazy.
There's that whole aspect where like you get to treat your customer like.
Yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
I was very good at that.
If they're
I didn't
into
do
it.
that very much, but
that's actually the funnest part of this like industry. The people that are into that, because it's like just I don't know, you just go off on people, and it's like honestly like therapeutic. It's like great.
I love it.
I love it. That's the best part.
That's
it's
what
like
they
wow,
want.
I never thought I'd get paid to be bullying some man.
That's what they want. I'm telling you, it's what
so good.
they want.
I know, it's so good. I love it. Like that's the best ones.
Thank you for being so open and so there's a level of vulnerability that it takes to really talk about this stuff, and like the more vulnerable we get, I really believe the more people we can help. There's just so many people out there that are just unaware. They're afraid to reach out and ask these questions. Once they hear about this, like it piques their interest. They can look into it more on their own. But also there's other people that judge the work and certain types of lifestyles. And once they hear that, like, wow, this person is like pretty awesome, really easy to talk to, really nice. Maybe this doesn't deem this person an evil person or a naughty person, or like, it's just everyone's just trying to make their own ends meet right now. And we all want to be treated with respect. And when we find ways that we can earn money that bring us that respect and that we're praised for, that's a direction that we should follow. There's no reason why we should be treated like shit as a server in a cubicle, as a graphic designer, being told to go wash the dishes because I have boobs. Nobody should be treated that way. And if you are out there listening and you're being treated that way and you're looking for another line of work, don't knock it till you try it, but definitely don't expect it, because there is a lot of work involved, but it's something that you can do and you can learn, and there is a community out there to learn from.
I would say,
and with that,
if the only thing holding you back is other people's judgments, no matter what you do, people are going to take issue with you and judge you and say you should do X, Y, and Z. So I would say give it a shot. It could change your life for the better. And I just want all of you to be able to finance your van life dreams. So stay safe. Stay alert.
Be alert. And
wait, no, we did it wrong. What's the first line? What's the first line? What's the first line? Stay alert.
I don't.
Always
lock your doors.
Lock your doors. Lock your doors.
Stay alert. And always
listen for the knock.